Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Okay. I want to begin with a big announcement. We are participating in the most exciting time in history. My name is Jason Safford, and I am the author of Think Green, The Future is Awesome. How awesome our future will be is measured by the actions you take to create it. Creating an awesome future begins by thinking green. While this sounds simple enough, most of us do not take this first step. Why not? We are entering the eco era, where all the possibilities of our planet are now available to us. The convergence of technology, biology, and ecology are making new discoveries occur in seconds instead of years or decades. So why are we so fearful of thinking green? And why are we not excited by the opportunities it presents? The reality is that you are here because you are an innovator or are looking for innovation that appeals to you. Yet despite this fact, we are all perplexed by the idea of thinking green because of one key factor: the elusive definition to the word green. Rather than get into why this word has become so elusive, we'll define it right now for our purposes. Green is the truthful economics that allows your impact to resonate most effectively with your bottom line while improving your overall productivity and responsive outcomes. I want to repeat that green, in the use of business and industry, is the truthful economics that allows your impact to resonate most effectively with your bottom line while improving your overall productivity and effective outcomes. The reason we use truthful economics is specific. Economics is the science that guides our core understanding of what people need and want, and the analysis of the total life cycle of those needs and wants, which sustain our way of life. Truthful is the expression of honesty, or in this case, transparency. So truthful economics is the transparent understanding of the production, distribution, consumption, and recycling of all things people need and want. Applying this statement to the overall consideration of your impact, how it resonates with your bottom line, how it improves your productivity, and how people respond to you, these are the elements that define green. Now that we have a definition, how do you think green? Understanding using these three critical points, today I will show you how. The first point to thinking green is to ask this question: what is my impact? This is very important for you to ask yourself, because you begin to think about any strategy, any project, any product or service you want to create. What is my impact is the most important question related to how you want your outcome to exist. Your impact is made up of your energy, creative, spiritual, and physical, and how it is focused and directed toward a specific purpose. To understand your impact, think of a ball. When you pick up that ball, feel its weight in your hands. Find a target and aim at it. Now, throw that ball with all your God-given strength and ability toward that target. As it hits the target, that is your impact. How much your impact affects the target is based on how much focused energy you direct at one time. Understanding how you focus every aspect of your energy toward a specific objective is the key to understanding your impact. Consider your footprint. Your footprint is specific to you, and it tells your story. A clearly defined footprint is relative to how much energy is transferred from the person to the ground. There are factors that can help or hurt this footprint, such as the type of ground and the weight of the person. But in all cases, the impact of the foot defines the footprint. Clearly, the most defined footprint is the most powerful impact that will last longest. This is what you want to consider when you ask yourself, what is my impact? Do you want your impact to be seen clearly by everyone and last longest? Or is your objective one more of subtle and stealth? Having a true understanding of your impact is the most essential part of thinking green. It is best illustrated by the great writer Plutarch, who wrote, "We must obey that saying inscribed in the temple of Apollo at Delphi, 'Know thyself.'" Know thyself makes us realize that from ancient Greek history, the Oracle of Delphi, until now, thousands of years later, these words have impact. We are only truly successful, truly able to make our future awesome when we know thyself. The second point of thinking green is to ask yourself, how does my impact resonate with others? This is critical because how you resonate is whether you attract or detract people to you. Let's go back to the example of the ball. Now imagine that target we focused is actually connected to a scale. At the top of the scale is a bell. When you throw that ball and hit that target with enough force, a hammer will swing up and hit that bell. That bell will ring and you will win a prize. Everyone around you will cheer and get excited. The ringing of that bell resonates with people. How you resonate is equivalent to the amount of your impact. This is actually defined by Sir Isaac Newton with his third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So your impact can be measured by the amount of your reaction or response to it. Revisiting your footprint, the reaction by others to your footprint will be based on how clearly they can see and define it as yours. To illustrate how your impact resonates with others, consider the Exxon Valdez. 25 years ago, this tanker filled with oil ran aground in the Prince William Sound. The result of this impact was an environmental disaster the likes that is still widely considered one of the worst oil spills on the planet. The impact of that disaster is still felt on the local community and still recognized with regard to other environmental disasters worldwide. Industry practices were dramatically changed in response to this disaster, and many new technologies have resulted. But the most important question was never asked, which has caused other environmental disasters, most recently the Gulf of Mexico, to occur. That question is, if there is a catastrophe, what will the response be to that impact? Faulty valves and drunken sailors are an excuse, not an answer. They demonstrate that no matter how good the plan, the strategy, the team, it all comes down to one thing. The consequences of your impact are equal to the impact itself. The final point in thinking green is to ask yourself, how does my impact affect the future? This is the opportunity for your impact to become scalable. Revisiting our analogy with the ball, after you hit the bell and win the prize, many new outcomes are possible. You might suddenly gain the confidence you have been missing all along, and now you are able to do anything. Somebody seeing you throw might realize you have potential as a big league pitcher. The carnival might go bankrupt because now you win lots more prizes with your newfound talent. This is how your impact can affect the future. Your impact can launch millions of possibilities that affect you and others in unforeseen ways. Looking at the example of the footprint, we need to consider the dinosaur to realize what the impact of a footprint is and can mean on the future. Millions of years later, we are still considering the impact of these creatures and how they shaped and changed the planet we live on. How will your footprint shape and change the planet we live on? Now that you have these 3 points, what is my impact? How does my impact resonate with others? And how does my impact affect the future? You are ready to think green. This is where you begin to create a future that is truly awesome. As I stated in the beginning, we are part of the most exciting time in history. Never, in the course of human history, has the fate of our species been more dependent on innovation that will direct the safe proliferation of our way of life sustainably. Now is a time for implementation, for activation, and action, which takes us on this new course. This is your task as entrepreneurs and leaders. You must take us to the awesome future. Know thyself. and think green.